Well, I sold it. What did I sell? That Thrash Mana Crypt I had. Somebody actually bought it. Of course, it was the cheapest English version on Magic Card Market. Definitely the cheapest signed version from these promos. And how long did I have it? I think I had it there for about 8 months, 6 months. Quite a while. So somebody finally said, I want it. Some Italian guy bought it. Hope he's happy with it. I mean, I was starting to think maybe I should just cancel it and keep it. But as I've explained on the videos where I talk about it, I can't play it in Prague without getting a lot of grief, justifiably, because it is a high power card that represents a different level of playing. It represents competitive commander, competitive EDH. Whether or not my deck is competitive, it doesn't matter. Just having it in there gives the impression that I'm at that level. Some of my decks, I don't want to give that impression. So I put in the Zami, which is an Austrasian deck. It's designed to play at a more competitive level. But I don't want the grief there either. So what I'm going to do, so I sold it. It's gone. By this time tomorrow, today is July 18th, year of our Lord, 2024. With this time tomorrow, I will no longer own a Authentic Mana Crypt. I will still have my, at that point, it will, once I give it to the post office, my proxy, Mana Crypt, in one of my vintage decks, my True Blade, Stone, whatever the hell I'm calling it, Stoneforge True Blade, whatever. Anyway, this blue-white vintage deck, I've got a proxy Mana Crypt in there. When this is gone, it'll be a counterfeit because I will not have an authentic card to pin it to. But cool. So that's gone. I also sold this. I got this in a trade about a year ago, and I've had it listed up on MKM for about that long. I thought I might keep it. I thought I might play it. It's a full art foil. The art is, yeah, it's kind of cool, but I don't care about the backgrounds. I don't. And the only deck I can logically play this in is Edgar Markov. But my creatures gaining Undying, well, he gives them all +1/+1 counters. So effectively, all they get is +2/+0, and the Undying won't matter because if they die, if he has attacked, he will have given them all counters, so the Undying will not matter. The other deck I could put it in is, well, Sig, but I don't have enough Spectres to really make it tribal. Carador, could put it in Carador, but Carador is kind of in a weird spot where it's a tribal deck, but it doesn't quite feel tribal because I don't have a lot of token generators for spirits. They just don't exist. And most of the spirits, they don't come out that fast. Carador is a slow deck. And giving the creatures Undying, it's just not necessary. There's better cards than Carador. So this is a neat card. Kind of expensive. I got a good deal in the trade. One of the lads that plays with us sometimes in Prague that doesn't come out too often. So both of us are happy with the trade. And once I realized I've got no home for this, and I don't expect to have a home for this, might as well put it on the auction block. Might as well put it in MKM and sell it. And somebody bought it. It has to be at least 10 months that I've had this up there. The other thing I sold, which I don't feel like dragging them out here and showing you, $2 a Time Spiral. So Go Gun, this German company, they finally released the, I forget what they're calling it, the May Crossbow. So the May Crossbow is magazine fed. Magazine goes under like a traditional firearm, like an AR-15, like a Kalashnikov, anything like that. And when you cock it, it's a quick cocking crossbow, repeating crossbow. When you cock it, the way it breaks is, here's the trigger mechanism, and it goes down. So you never take your eyes. This is the top of the weapon. This part goes down, so the top of the weapon is always at eye level. So you never have to take your eyes off the target to cock it. And the magazine has 18 rounds. Jorge Sprave, on the Slingshot channel, he featured it, the prototype, and it looked really cool, and I wanted one. Oh yeah. But it took them a long time to finalize the design. And then it took them a while to go to production. Now they're in production. So I took a €100 bath on the 2 boxes of Times Power Remastered I had, but they weren't selling anyway. Nobody really wants them. You have to sell them at a bit of a loss, unless you got them at a really good deal initially. But if you paid retail value, nobody's paying retail value for Times Power Remastered. There's nothing that great in it. The time-shifted foils, and I saw a guy on YouTube that didn't get one. I saw a guy on YouTube that opened a box of Times Power Remastered, and he got no time-shifted, not even a shitty one. And I thought, fuck me, that sucks. So unless you get one of the good ones, Abrupt Decay, which has fallen far in value, not Cauldron of Souls, but the Chalice of the Void. If you get Chalice of the Void, that's got some value. There's a couple that have value, but unless you win that lottery, or you get a few now, foil Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, there's no value in the set. So I sold it at a loss because it's not going up anywhere. I don't feel like storing it anymore, and I want that crossbow. I want that May crossbow. So just need to package these. Actually, I need to take this out of the sleeve, because I need the sleeve for the deck. So yeah, these are going to two different people. The Times Power Remastered, those 2 boxes are going to a different guy entirely. So 3 orders, 3 different people. And the Times Power Remastered is going to fund that the May crossbow that I want. This that'll fund the rest of it, but now I need to replace a card in Azami. I was thinking of Cabinet of Souls, but in Bloomborough, and I forget the third word, it's 3 tree something. The name of the card has 3 words in it, and I think they all start with T, and I know 3 and tree are 2 of them. I can't remember the third one. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's a land. I can't remember if it's legendary. Again, being commander, that doesn't matter. You can only have one in your deck. But it comes into play, declare a creature type. Spend 2, tap it, add mana of any color you choose according to how many creatures of the type you have. So with the Azami, I play this sucker, named Wizard. 2, tap, I get 1 blue for every wizard I have. She needs more ways to generate big mana. That sounds like a pretty goddamn good way to do it to me. The other thing I'm thinking of, and I never thought I would think this, never. Edgar Markov could use one of those. Edgar Markov, I mean, tap, get 1 mana for every vampire I control. Okay, I'm looking at least 4 mana at worst, unless there's just been a board wipe. But typically, worst case, I'm looking at getting 4 mana. Cast 2 vampires. Edgar triggers twice, so there's 2 tokens. There's 4 vampires. 2 tap. 4 mana. Usually it's going to be a lot higher than that. But to make room for this 3 tree thing in Edgar Markov, what should I take out? Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth and Cabal Coffers. They fit the same space. And to be honest, Edgar is so heavy on non-basic lands that unless Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth is in play, Cabal Coffers really doesn't give me much. So I have to really think about it, because it's either 2-card combo, Urborg and Coffers, to get 5, 6, 8 mana, whatever whatever lands I have, or have this land where I spend 2 tap, and I do not need another land to go with it. I just need a mass of vampires. And I'm thinking I'll get one of these 3 tree yolks for Edgar. And thinking of the other tribal decks I have, Voya really doesn't need one. Voya is pretty good on his own. He's got Allurin. Allurin lets me cast the cheaper wolves and elves for free at instant speed, so he doesn't need it. Aurelia, oddly enough, could probably use it because of all the goblins. I played Aurelia last week, and at one point I had 14 goblins. I mean, imagine if I, tap 2, tap this 3 tree yoke, I get 14 red mana. Now, I didn't have anything to spend it on. Aurelia doesn't have any X spells, doesn't have that many big spells, because I'm not really planning on having things like that. I'm not really planning on mana sinks. I did have Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx out, and I was squeezing out 4 to 5 red, and just advancing my position a little bit. And that's perfectly adequate for the way that I built Aurelia. Carador, he doesn't generate enough spirits really to make use of this 3 tree card. Teysa, Order of Zion, if I build her with the spirits, maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll be a good place for it. Anyway, I want to get at least 2 of them. One to replace this Mana Crypt in Azami, and 1 for Edgar, and I'll take out the Cabal Coffers and Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. Probably just drop another basic swamp. But should make it a little more consistent. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Go away now.